Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you are navigating a massive vehicle completely blind, like you can't see out the window at all.
Right, and you're just relying entirely on the voice of some stranger on a radio to keep you from crashing.
Exactly. So welcome to today's deep dive. We're exploring a breakdown from the video when United 1448 entered the wrong runway. Our mission today is unpacking this terrifying near miss from 1999 at Providence Airport and looking at how environmental blindness almost caused a major collision.
Yeah, it is the ultimate stress test of human trust. When you remove visual confirmation, the whole system relies on perfect communication, and perfection is incredibly fragile.
Well, let's set the scene. It's December 1999. The fog is just so thick that the air traffic control tower literally cannot see the planes on the tarmac.
And crucially, they didn't have any ground radar back then.
Zero. So ATC is navigating solely by asking pilots for their locations over the radio. It is basically a high-stakes game of Marco Polo with multi-ton jetliners.
What's fascinating here is how quickly the brain's spatial awareness just crumbles under a high cognitive workload.
Oh, for sure.
Think about when you're driving in a torrential downpour looking for a specific address. You naturally turn down the car radio, right?
Yeah, because you need focus.
Exactly. Your brain only has so much processing power. So in the cockpit of United 1448, they had just landed in zero visibility. The workload is immense.
Right.
They're instructed to take taxiway November, but in the confusion, they mistakenly turn left onto taxiway Bravo. They're now heading straight for runway 5 right, which is the only active runway.
And because of that Marco Polo setup, ATC has zero clue this wrong turn just happened. They're operating like a broken GPS that hasn't updated its location. They're blindly trusting the system.
Right, and that spatial disorientation kicks off this deadly chain reaction of assumptions. The United pilots see lights ahead. Because their internal picture says they're on a safe taxi route, they assume the lights are just part of that route.
So they ask ATC for permission to cross.
Yeah. And ATC, assuming United is exactly where they're supposed to be on November, says yes.
But wait, hold on. Let me push back on this. The second the United pilots see those lights, shouldn't alarm bells go off? Like taxiway lights and runway lights look completely different, don't they?
They do.
So why didn't they realize they were about to cross an active runway?
Well, you're touching on the mechanics of confirmation bias here. Mechanically, taxiway lights are blue and green, while runway lights are white and amber. It is a blatant visual mismatch.
Okay, so they should have known.
You'd think so, but when a brain is that overloaded, it forces the physical reality to fit its pre-existing assumptions. They expected to see a crossing, so their brains literally ignored the colors.
Wow.
Yeah. United rolls onto the active runway just as a fully loaded FedEx cargo plane is cleared for takeoff.
And the FedEx plane hits the point of no return. They roar down the foggy runway, lift off, and clear the lost United jet by mere meters. Like, the FedEx pilots didn't even see the plane, they just flew over.
A collision avoided by sheer luck. But the danger wasn't even over yet because ATC's internal model of the airport was still totally fractured.
Right, so the United pilots get on the radio and say, somebody just took off over us. But ATC denies they're on an active runway.
Yeah, she actually tells them the runway they think they're on is just a taxiway. She's ignoring the conflicting reality.
That's wild.
It's a textbook example of anchoring bias. In high-stress environments, authority figures often anchor to their initial decisions. The controller's whole mental framework was built on the assumption that United was safe.
So instead of freezing all traffic to verify locations, she just doubles down.
Exactly.
She clears the next plane in line, US Airways 2998 for takeoff. Not once, but 3 separate times.
And this is where the chain is finally broken. The US air pilots had been monitoring all this chaotic radio traffic and realized the situational picture just didn't add up.
Thank goodness someone was paying attention.
Right. When they're cleared to take off into the blind fog, they flat out refuse. They tell ATC they are staying clear of all runways until the mess is definitively sorted out.
That is just a masterclass in situational awareness.
It really is.
Eventually, the lost United jet navigated back to safety. And the aftermath brought massive changes. Ground radar was finally installed at Providence, runway 23 right was converted into a taxiway, and intersections got redesigned.
Because rules and authority just cannot replace critical thinking. The system was completely blind, but human intuition stepped in and broke the chain of errors.
So what does this all mean? The U.S. air pilots prevented a disaster by simply saying no. It's a powerful reminder that when a situation feels wrong, you have to speak up, even if the person in authority insists everything is fine.
Absolutely.
Which leaves you with something to ponder. In our modern world, We are constantly navigating blind, trusting, invisible algorithms and automated tech to safely guide us. How much of our daily safety relies entirely on that tech compared to human intuition brave enough to just hit the brakes?